Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Yeah, I'm back again. I just finished a 3-hour and 10-minute live, and yet I'm back again just a few hours later. I'm sorry. I had to really cover this story before I went to bed, before this vacation is officially over. I return to work tomorrow. There's a whole bunch of drama with that, but I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, the bottom line is I'm happy that we were able to share this vacation with each other. I appreciate you guys immensely, and I am super, super, super stoked to return to work for the victims, all right? There's always other drama, but I'm super happy to get there just for the victims. I love what I do, and I appreciate giving back to the community and giving back to victims. So anyway, the bottom line is, guys, we got really good information that is coming out, and I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be when I return to work. So I want to get this last show in with you guys just to, kiss November goodbye with a sweet, sweet kiss goodbye with a nice show, right? So first we're going to react to Khadisha. She's basically going to tell us her theory on, and the evidence that she has that backs up how she feels about whether Celeste was dismembered. Then after that, we're going to listen to Matt Thibodeau, where he's going to talk about a post that I read on my own. And I want to hear Matt's spin on it because I haven't heard it yet. But I read the post and I didn't really feel it was that probative. Yes, even if I believe that this was his girlfriend at the time, I have no reason not to believe that she's the girlfriend. And I think she's kind of proving it to those Reddit folks over there who are doing an amazing job following this case that she is the girlfriend. Don't quote me on that, but I think she said that she did. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I take it back. But I just don't feel like she really gave us much insight into David, the type of insight that I was expecting to get. It kind of sounded to me like she was kind of like a fan that got really close to him. It also sounded like she has a lot of maturity and mental health issues that she's still working with. It also sounds to me that David kind of has the same thing going on that I just described she came off as having too. It also sounded like David was a very manipulative person with her, and there were times that he was very sweet and loving to her. I think she categorized their relationship of love bombing on each other. And then there were also times that he was very cruel to her. And I don't know how much of her, I don't even know what to call it, and her recollection of their relationship, I don't know how much of it Matt is going to go into, but when you read it in its entirety, you definitely hear the immaturity in it, and you could hear that, all of these people kind of seem off. And I'm not trying to disrespect in any way. I don't know if this young lady would end up watching this, but that's just my feeling. It's just my feeling. It is what it is. My opinion, it's opinion show, so I'm giving it to you. All right, no disrespect to anybody. But let's jump into this, and definitely, I'm curious to hear what Khadisha has to say on the topic of dismemberment, because that's a huge issue that we have with this case right now. Because when the LAPD first came out with their statement on this case, they said that she was dismembered. That's what they told us. The quotes are there. The news articles have not disappeared. They clearly said that she was dismembered. Then they came back and said she wasn't dismembered. Then TMZ said that she was dismembered, and Sloan came out with his own sources and he said she was dismembered too. So a lot going on here. Well, actually, the way that it really goes is LAPD says she's dismembered. TMZ says that she's dismembered. LAPD comes back out again and says, no, she's not dismembered, contradicting their first statement that they made when the case first broke. Then Sloan comes out and says, listen, she was dismembered. We don't know who's right. We don't know what's going on. So that's another reason why I wanted to cover this with you guys. I'm curious. Khadisha's really good on covering this case. Really proud of her and the way that she's handling this case. I love her style, very professional, etc. So I'm curious to see what Khadisha has to say about this. So let's keep going.
Confused when it comes to details about how Celeste was decomposed, but yet the medical examiner could still figure out the tattoo on her finger that read "Shh." This is where we heard a lot of speculation about Celeste possibly being frozen at one point in time, but the LAPD kind of kicking that theory to the ground. And I now want to give my own speculation theory of what this could be if Celeste was not frozen. Now, yet again, this is not confirmed. This is only speculation based off things that I've read on and tried to understand. Information is also going with me editing the photo that is out there in the public for everybody to see to try to get a clear picture. And it seems like this theory is very possible based off what I've seen of the photo of Celeste in the front of that Tesla. And before we go any further, I do want to say that I am going to try to keep this video easy digestible, but for most people, this video might be a lot. So if it's something that might trigger you, please go ahead and swipe away now. Now, I'm not going to show the edited version of this photo. If this is something that you guys are interested in seeing, you guys are going to have to do this yourself because I do want to keep respect of her photo.
Now, I've never seen that picture. I don't even know where she got that picture from. Does anybody know where Khadijah got this picture? Now, first of all, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I mean, it's what I do for a living. I'm not going to be shocked or whatever. I don't have the sensibilities like, oh, she's a minor. Don't look at the picture. I would not disseminate it. I would definitely edit it the way that Khadijah has done. That's a classy thing to do. But it does, for me on my own, I don't care whether I see the picture or not. I'm certainly not going to go look for it, but if it came to me, I would look at it. If I wanted to use it inside of my show, I would edit it just the way that Khadijah did. But my question is, where did Khadijah get this photo? Where did she get the photo from? I've never seen this photo before. Oh my gosh. Somebody says if it's the one on Reddit. I don't know. Is it the one on Reddit? You saying if? Have you seen the one on Reddit? Can you confer whether it's the same photo? I've never seen this photo before. This is amazing. Anyway, guys, before we jump back into this, please hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button, support the channel. We have over 120 people watching the stream right now, only 63 likes. Come on. That's like when we was like at 50,000 subscribers. We could do better than that now. Let's keep going.
Not being out there because this is a child. Based off things that I have seen, it does appear that her head is attached to her torso. Now, as far as other limbs, I cannot be so sure.
Wait.
It's going to play a big role in what I talk about.
All right, somebody send me that photo. If you got the photo, send me the photo because I need to, because she's talking like you could see the body. And for the purposes of us like really trying to understand this case, I would like to know for myself if this body was dismembered or if I could obviously see that the body is intact or if it's dismembered. So this is very interesting. Let's keep going.
About today is this big black bag that Celeste was reported to be wrapped in. Celeste being placed in a bag will slow decomposition by restricting oxygen from her being in that bag and insects not being able to get inside. And another huge thing to note, the breaking down of Celeste could have been even slower due to her not being fully intact. Now, like I said, I don't think that her head, like the LAPD is saying, was not attached, but the other limbs like the legs and arms might not have been. If this bag was actually sealed well and it created a low oxygen environment, there's also something else that could have happened to Celeste during this time. And I do want to say now there is multiple LAPD sources telling multiple different media outlets that they believe that Celeste passed away in the spring of 2025, and this could answer some questions about where Celeste could have been this whole entire time. And the truth is, with this theory, there is a huge possibility that Celeste could have been in the trunk pretty much the whole entire time. They wouldn't have had to hide her anywhere. Could have happened to Celeste during being in this bag is adipose formation. And this is a greasy or waxy substance that forms over the body, but it's important to note that this process typically takes weeks or months, not days. And as you can see
I would like to know what's her source that she's reading from, because the training that I have as a crime scene technician, so if any of you who don't know, if you're new to the show, I'm an active duty detective and I investigate SA cases, all right, special victims cases. Prior to joining the police department, I worked as a special victims detective for the state of New York, for the Department of Corrections, where we investigated sex crimes that happen in the prison system. Now I'm just a regular detective in a police department that investigates sex crimes that happen on the streets. But one thing about New York State is that we get training up the wazoo because we have to do everything ourselves. So I got crime scene technician training. Like, I have the same training to go and do crime scenes like you see on TV, like you see these police departments do blood spatter analysis to see where the blood splatter went when the gunshot wound went into the body. All that stuff I'm certified in. Even car accident recreation using a total station. Like if there's a car accident, use the 3D mapping machine. I know how to do all of that. All of that. How we were taught in crime scene is that when you seal biological material inside of a plastic bag, it's the opposite of what's being said that she's reading right now. It actually accelerates the growth of bacteria and breaks down DNA. That's why you will never, ever, 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 ever see any. Somebody said they sent me the photo. Thank you so much, Flojo TV. I'll go ahead and take a look at that. I'm not going to put it on the show, but I will take a look at it. You will never, ever on TV or in real life ever see crime scene technicians carting away biological evidence inside of a plastic bag. You always see, the only thing that goes in a plastic bag is like property, physical property, guns, things that don't have, you don't want to do DNA on and stuff like that. If you want to do DNA on a gun, you're not going to see it in a plastic bag. Fingerprints, that's fine. You can put it in a plastic bag. But you never see it. You always see those in those brown bags. The reason why is that the bag is porous, and you don't get that effect when you seal it with a plastic bag. So I want to know what her source is. I'm not arguing with what she's saying. I think Khadisha is great, but I want to know what is this that she's reading? Where did this come from? Is this coming from an AI? It looks like Google AI when you see those little things at the end of the paragraphs, which is not always accurate. Is it coming from some type of crime scene textbook that I'm not aware of that's teaching a different technique than I was taught as? That I was certified in by the state of New York? I don't know. I'm just telling you, some of what she's saying contradicts the best practices of how to collect DNA evidence, how to collect biological material. Let's keep going. But we're listening. We're all learning.
Encasing the body in a bag creates an airtight environment, blocking oxygen and slowing regular decomp. Moisture trapped inside the bag combined with the environment provides ideal conditions for this process to take hold. It's also accelerated by warmth. It can preserve some things like facial features, wounds for a long time, which is significant in forensics, which could potentially be a reason why the medical examiner, though saying she was badly decomped at the time, he was still able to read the tattoo on her finger.
All right, so I just want to say I'm looking at the photo right now, and it's really nothing to redact. You can't see any features. You can't see, you just can't see anything. It's just the body is completely sealed inside of it looks like it's either a bag that you put suits in, or B, it looks like a body bag. If it's a bag that you put garments in, then it will not be sealed completely unless they seal up all those holes, which I doubt that they would. But, you know, the top of a garment bag has a hole for the hangers. So if it's a garment bag that she's in, it's not going to be completely sealed. And her theory of having this perfect condition where there's no oxygen going inside is a flawed theory, because it is a porous bag and there are holes inside of a garment bag. If in fact it's a body bag, then, you know, maybe you can get that seal. But it doesn't look like a body bag. It looks like a garment bag. Like they put her in one of those bags that you put your suits in. And then therefore, that's not the case. Because those aren't sealed. Those aren't airtight sealed bags, period. Even if you taped it up, the areas, remember, we're talking about molecules here. The area where the zipper is at, that's going to be porous enough for you to be able to, for oxygen to be able to exchange within both those different environments, inside the bag and outside of the bag. All right. You have to literally get a bag that is designed to be airtight sealed. And who's making a bag like that unless you're making something purpose built to store something in there without it being touched by the outside environment? So I think I'm going to disagree with this theory here that she has, but it's a good theory and it's well thought out. But I think I disagree with it. And I like Khadijah, so I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way at all. This is YouTube. We're all debating. We're all trying to figure this out together. We all have our own competing theories. Let's keep going.
Since she would have been decomposed, but certain parts might have been preserved. Now, even if this formation didn't occur, there is still ways that the medical examiner could have figured out Celeste's tattoos without her even having this occurring. There is infrared photography. This method can penetrate the skin and reveal tattoos that are invisible to the human eye. Hydrogen peroxide is a solution that has been used to temporarily remove dark decomp pigments, allowing the underlying tattoo to be photographed. 3% hydrogen peroxide solution has been used to temporarily remove dark decomp pigments, allowing the underlying tattoos to be photographed. So photographic enhancement. Special photographing techniques and lighting can also be used to bring out details of a tattoo on somebody. Important to know, even if this process did happen from Celeste being in this bag, it would still give off a very unpleasant smell. And like I said, it would still take time for this formation to happen. It is up to weeks to months for this formation to happen. But in the early stages, it can emit a rancid, foul, or sweetish, offensive smell. And later stages are described as rancid smells associated with the fatty acids. So I know this is questions that a lot of people have been wondering how Celeste, even from the end of July to September, even lasted in this hot Tesla trunk where the medical examiner was able to figure out.
I'm going to show you, I'm going to let her keep talking. I'm going to show you exactly what the bag looks like. Somebody said it's the bag for organs. I just don't see that unless you have information that I don't have. Some of you guys are following this much more than me. So in no way am I trying to make myself seem as though I'm an authority. I'm not an authority. I'm a reaction channel. I'm aggregating this information from different locations. I'm not breaking this case. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on what I'm reviewing based off of my almost 20 years of law enforcement experience. But I'm going to show you a picture of what that bag looks like. I don't think that I need to in any way censor that bag, but I'm just not going to show it just for the hell of it because she censored her photo. I don't want to just put it out there and then people complain like, oh, you should have censored it. This is horrible. I don't want no smoke, okay? But there's nothing there to censor. The bag censors itself. You can't see anything. You really can't. But I'm going to show you guys a picture. All I did was on my phone type in garment bag. And the picture that completely matches the bag that she was in immediately popped up. So on my phone, I use Google for my searches. But on the computer, I use Bing. So I want to just go to google.com so that I get the same exact search. And then garment bag. And then I go to images. And this is the exact same bag. Let me see if I could go ahead and this is the exact same bag that I see. The window's just a little bit bigger, but it's the exact same bag that I see Celeste in. This is exactly the bag. The only difference is this window's probably 2 times bigger. So if you take another square, whatever, this is like a 4 or a 5-inch square, if you just multiply that by 2, and you have like a 10-inch square, just another square down here, this is exactly the type of bag that it looks like Celeste is in from the picture that was sent to me. 1000%. It even has the curvature of a garment bag. It's circular in nature. Now, I don't know if, well, that's how all those type of bags are made. Maybe the same garment bags they made is made in the same factory that they have body bags in. But I know it's much easier to get a large garment bag to impromptu put somebody in than it is to try and source a body bag. And you'll probably make less waves if you're looking for a garment bag. If you type into Amazon on your inside of your shopping cart, garment bag, let me get 2 of those. And you're like, well, they're a celebrity. They dress in a lot of clothing. Of course they need garment bags. Rather than somebody checks your search query and they see body bag used to prevent decomposition. That's what Celeste was put in, man. Some of you guys are saying it's a bag for for body parts and organs. First of all, why would a organ donation bag be so big? When I put in organ donation, which I did search that up, right? Not organ donation, I said organ bags. This is what comes up when you put organ bags. Hold on. Sorry about that. Organ. This is what comes up when you put organ bags. Every time I've heard of organ donations or I've seen it happen in the hospital, seen people carrying these things around, these are the bags they carry around. So I don't know what organ bags would look like a garment bag. I'm just throwing it out there. Nobody's wrong. There's no such thing as a bad idea or bad theory. We're all trying to figure it out. And you guys might have a whole lot more details than I have. But that's what we're working with. All right, so let's get back and let Khadisha finish, and then we'll move on. But that's what I see when I look at that picture. And big shout out to Flojo TV who sent me that picture. I wouldn't have had it without your generosity, man. I appreciate
her
you.
tattoo. This is where a lot of the speculations about the frozen theory came into play. But like I said, we do have the LAPD debunking that theory because it wouldn't absolutely make sense for her to arrive to the medical examiner frozen after spending at least 5 weeks in that Tesla. So I did want to go ahead and talk about the other scientific theories which could have happened to Celeste being preserved in the trunk of this Tesla without the frozen theory going around. I said this theory does tie into things that we have seen, like Celeste being kept in this black bag. And also, like I said, I was able to see underneath this in this photo that I edited, trying to get a better, clear picture of this black bag. And I do feel like this is a huge possibility of what could have happened without the frozen theory coming into play. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
All right, so I'm trying to look up this Viscera bag, and I'm looking at it, and it does not look like the bag. And then a lot of it is coming up as autopsy bags or body bags and stuff like that. And I'm gonna pull it over here. I'm definitely not trying to hide anything from you guys, but I still don't see. Hold on, let me just ungroup this. And 1 second. Sorry. My apology. I think it's important for us to explore this stuff, you know? Oh, now it's not coming up. Come on. It showed me the bags before. All right, well, cadaver bags. Let's see here. Here we go. That's what I clicked before. So check this one out. Flojo TV says, look up Viscera bags. So I looked it up. This stuff came up. And then there was only this one down here, which was cadaver bags. So I clicked cadaver bags. And then on this side, this came up. So these are the different types of cadaver bags. The bag that's in that trunk does not look like these bags to me. And I've seen these bags before because this is what the ME puts bodies in. I've seen this in my personal life before, my personal life, and actually helped the ME lift up somebody who was very close to me, who passed away. People in the chat who are in the family, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I've seen this in real life, not even on the job, in my own personal grief and pain. Not to make this too personal, but you know, it just looking at it brought back memories. You know, things trigger us at times. So it triggered me a little bit. I didn't even know it would trigger me, but it triggered me a little bit. It is what it is. I'm only human. But this bag, having seen it up close and personal and touched it before, this bag does not look like the bag that I see that Celeste is in. It doesn't look that way to me. I could be wrong. I am not in any way the authority on this case. Like I said, some of you in the chat are a part of research groups, a part of Reddit groups, and some of you are maybe even LAPD employees and ME employees, and you know more than I do. But I don't see it. I'm not drawing these connections. that some of you guys are drawing. But like I said, there's no such thing as a bad theory. And we appreciate Khadisha Lynn for her theory. And we appreciate all the good work that everybody else is doing on the internet to ultimately just bring awareness to Celeste, because that's what we're here doing. So now let's move over to this ex-girlfriend that has come forward. And, you know, she's kind of like, hey, I'm the ex-girlfriend. I'm not doing this for clout, but I just want to tell you I'm the ex-girlfriend. And my text messages were leaked. So now I want to tell you my side of the story. And you guys will hear, let's hear what Matt Thibodeau has to say. But kind of feeling like a whole lot of nothing from her. But let's go. Let's listen to it.
Hey guys, so an ex-friend slash ex-girlfriend of David's who met him in August or September of 2022 has spoken out about her friendship slash relationship with David. And in my opinion, what she said kind of highlights the fact that David is not only manipulative, but also very intentional. Some of what she says also showcases this.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to stop Matt, but I do want to just make sure my point is understood, and I will be very brief with it. Because Valkyrie 08890 says it was a garment bag, and I believe it's a garment bag, but I want to make it perfectly clear. If it was a garment bag, that bag was not sealed. It still was a porous bag that oxygen was able to get into. And any theory that says that, you know, for somehow it was sealed and it could not decompose is not a viable theory, because a garment bag does not, it is very porous. It does not seal a body. It's not going to prevent it from bugs getting to it. It's not going to keep out oxygen. It's not going to in any way slow down decomposition. It is probably going to end up accelerating decomposition. And I just want to throw that out there, that that's how I feel based off of what I just observed with my own eyes. Let's keep going.
But also very intentional. Some of what she says also showcases this split personality thing that David seems to have, hence his alter ego Itami. A lot of people seem to look at David's posts in the past and think that he's so immature, so childlike, but I feel like this is all an act. He's a lot smarter, he's way more deliberate than a lot of people are giving him credit for, and I feel like this persona he put on publicly was to possibly attract younger fans. She also seems to hint at the fact that David could have been talking to Celeste as early as summer of 2023 when she would have been just 12 years old. You guys can pause to read this entire thing if you'd like. I'm going to just summarize the main points. So she says that they were together when she was 16 and David was 18. However, they met when they were both minors, when he was 17 and she was 15. She said that at some point they both realized that getting into a relationship was a mistake, but they did not end things on bad terms. She said David broke up with her because of maturity differences and told her it was a learning experience for the both of them. The other breakup text earlier on got leaked by someone who was known to leak David's music. And I
think I read the text messages that were leaked where he was telling her that, like, you know, he was kind of like reading her a Dear John letter, and he was like breaking up with her slowly. Like, we're both immature. We both need, we both on different levels and da-da-da-da-da. I read that text message. I can't quote you verbatim what it was, but I read it. So it does exist, and I guess that it was her communication with David that was leaked. But let's keep going.
Jog anyone's memory, these are the texts that she's referring to that we discussed a few months back, where David ended things because he was on tour and she was still in school. She says, if it's true that he was dating Celeste, I'm beyond disappointed and disgusted. If she was the girl he dated late 2023, that means I was the girl before her. David once told me I was someone who got the most empathy out of him in a long time. We were super close, but a lot of it was love bombing, and as he said himself, we were quite literally feeding off of each other's attention, which I now see as I've matured. He did introduce me to Christianity though, and teach me mindsets that have stuck with me to no longer get stuck in any depression I may face. He really helped be the stepping stone for me to turn my life around.
So it seems like there's like there's a pattern for David. You know, the pattern is kind of like getting these broken girls, these little girls that are not sure of themselves, that are, you know, dealing with, you know, I don't even know if they're broken. Like, they're just little girls. They're still finding out who they are. You know, they're still maturing. So, but like he's seeking them out. Like, here's this girl. She has things going on. She still has a lot of growing to do, and preying on her, you know? Now, I'm not going to call him a pedo for dealing with this girl because they were very close in age. All right. I'm fair. All right. I give you the criticism when you deserve it. All right. Is he older than her? Yes, but 2 years. Come on. It is what it is. All right. They're probably in the same high school. But Celeste is a different animal. Just a different situation altogether. But still, there's still this imbalance because even though they're not that far away in age, they are light years away from each other in maturity and in intellect. And clearly, as it seems is always the case with David, he is the one at the steering wheel. He's the one that's steering the ship. He's the one driving the car, and everybody else is just a passenger. And you see that power dynamic, just like the power dynamic that I showed you guys in the video where him and Celeste is talking about the whole Epstein thing and all that good stuff. And she makes a statement and then he puts his hand on her shoulder and I trained you. And he's telling her like, no. And her face is like, her face looked like either A, a young kid getting scolded by daddy, or B, a battered woman. I'm not saying she was battered. I don't know what their dynamics was up until the moment that she lost her life. But immediately she became ultra submissive and he became the dominant person in the room. And it wasn't like two people on the same level and one is more dominant by virtue of their personality. It literally was a power imbalance. Like, I am more versed in life. I am greater than you, literally. And you've seen her fall into her place of being a little child. It looks like he seeks these girls out who are dealing with a lot of issues within themselves, within their families, and boom. Latches into them. And then when he's done, he writes you a Dear John letter and sends you on your way. Because as she writes on in her her tell-all, like almost like a tell-all she's just writing, you'll see how he just like dismisses her. Like he ends up seeing her in places and just totally ignoring her like she doesn't exist. And then she does come off a little bit like a super fan, like she's almost stalking him a little bit, but she's not trying to make it come off that way. I just happened to be in the airport with him at the same time. How's that possible? Y'all just happen to be in the airport. Maybe it's possible, but it's kind of suspect to me. But they just happen to be at the airport at the same time. She happens to go to his concert, and then he pretends like he doesn't know her. Weird stuff. But anyway, let's let Matt continue.
David told me our relationship was a learning lesson for the both of us and mentioned maturity differences, etc. If he had fully taken that lesson and grown from that smaller mistake, this would have never happened. That is what feels so insane. People are getting the timeline of David allegedly being close with Celeste wrong, I believe. When David and I were together, he sent me a screenshot of his TikTok DMs in April of 2023. The user 0907, speculated to be Celeste, wasn't on it. And she shares this screenshot of the screenshot that he sent her. She herself is in the DMs, a couple of David's friends are in there, and a girl that he took to prom, also a relative of one of his friends. And for those who don't know what she's talking about, the 0907 account is believed to have belonged to Celeste Rivas Hernandez before she switched to Yay Woohoo. In January of 2024, someone comments on one of David's videos saying, "Please adopt me, I need it," to which he responds back, "Should we?" and tags 0907. In February of 2024, someone tags 0907 on one of David's videos saying that this is his girlfriend.
Listen to the immaturity in that, right? So Celeste doesn't say, "Hey, I really like you. I want to get to know you better." She says, "Can you adopt me?" She says, "Can you adopt me?" Isn't that crazy? Because he's so much older than her. Can you adopt me? Not be my lover, not be my best friend. Can you be my dad? Sick, man. It's real sick.
And tags 090.
And then he takes that adoration love that somebody has for an artist that speaks to their soul. Remember, I told you music has power. I told you guys that. You paying attention? You listening to me? You just listening to me? You just watch me just to press the thumbs down, I think. Because none of y'all are pressing the thumbs up. So you must just be pressing the thumbs down. That's why you guys watch me. I told you guys music has power. We talked about this on the Patreon. Some of you guys are part of the Patreon. You know what I'm talking about. We talked about the power of music. Here is a person that's speaking to her soul. Here's a young girl who's in a troubled home, who doesn't feel loved, who has issues with her parents. She's listening to this guy. She adores this guy. His music speaks to her soul. And I think it's negative music. I think it's negative energy. I think it's devil music. That's what I said in the Patreon. Now you got a little piece of the Patreon. I think it's devil music. I think he's casting spells. Yeah, I think I'm crazy. It's okay, but she's dead. So how crazy am I? How crazy am I? She's dead in a very gruesome fashion and manner. I don't think I'm that crazy. But forget about all of that. Forget about all of that. Here's a guy speaking to her soul. Guy she looks up to. An artist that she respects, an artist that she adores. She said, adopt me. And he finds a way to transfigure that love that she has for him into something grotesque. Something that only serves, allegedly, his own carnal desires. That messed up. Messed up. This is the type of person we're working with now. Crazy stuff. Keep going.
07. In February of 2024, someone tags 0907 on one of David's videos saying that this is his girlfriend. And let's not forget that Celeste was born on...
Somebody said that it's not Celeste that asked to adopt. I thought that's what he said. If it's not, then I'm mistaken. I apologize. Let's listen to that again. I want to make sure I get it right.
07, speculated to be Celeste, wasn't on it, and she shares this screenshot of the screenshot that he sent her. She herself is in the DMs, a couple of David's friends are in there, and a girl that he took to prom, also a relative of one of his friends. And for those who don't know what she's talking about, the 0907 account is believed to have belonged to Celeste Rivas Hernandez before she switched to Yay Woohoo. In January of 2024, someone comments on one of David's videos saying, please adopt me, I need it, to which he responds back, should we, and tags 09.
Okay, so it's another person who's asking. I apologize. It's not the case. Another person asked, can you adopt me? And then David, it doesn't get any better. It doesn't even get any better. Sorry, not sorry. It doesn't get any better. Because, all right, the actual way that it goes, my apologies, sorry, not sorry, is some other little child, you can see from like the face on this picture, John Clare 00 says, please adopt me, I need it. Clearly this is a minor. And then David asks his wife, Celeste, the minor, should we? It doesn't even get any better. It doesn't even get any better. He asks his wife, he asks his girlfriend, who is a minor, should we adopt this kid? Let's keep going, man.
907. In February of 2024, someone tags 0907 on one of David's videos saying that this is his girlfriend. And let's not forget that Celeste was born on 0907, September 7th. This ex/ex-friend of David's goes on to say that in June or July of 2023, she again asked David for a screenshot of his TikTok DMs because she was jealous. He sends them to her, and that is when she notices the 0907 account. He explains who everyone in the DMs are, but he does not provide an explanation as to who 0907 is. She believes this is around the time that David and Celeste started getting close, and they were communicating on his old burner account, Fetch Me Their Souls, which he ended up changing to Grade A Trey before.
Did you hear that? See, this is the thing. Like, I try not to talk esoteric I try not to talk esoteric on this channel because we got to keep to the facts, all right? I'm a detective. I know that. We want facts, right? We want facts. I'm telling you, there's something else going on here. Did you just hear what Matt said David's original screen name was? Let's run that back. Let's find out what his original screen name was before he changed it.
His old burner account, Fetch Me Their Souls.
Fetch Me Their Souls. Big shout out to little Azaremi 7258 with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. His original screen name was Fetch Me Their Souls. See, I wish we was on a Patreon or a member so I could talk more about this, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. It is what it is. Your dog views hurt, but love and supports you regardless. What's a dog view? Oh, from the previous live we did. That's funny. $5 super chat. Light Chaser 2021. Thank you, Light Chaser. It's okay. I like Fido sometimes. It's all right. I don't hate all Fidos. Just a really big one. Anyway. Fetch Me Their Souls. This dude is crazy. Like, there will be no justice for this guy. I'm dead serious. Like, somebody just said it. He's the devil's advocate. He is. He's going to disappear. He's going to go poof. Somebody else is going to go down for this, man. This guy is not human, man. There's something going on here. Fetch Me Their Souls. This is a kid that allegedly a man who grew up in the church. He grew up in the church. His parents are devout Christians. But yet he talks about death and murder in his music. And even when he's expressing himself on the internet, he chooses to identify himself, Fetch Me Their Souls. Bananas.
Which he ended up changing to Grade A Trey before deleting the account altogether in early 2024. She says that she refers to dating David in quotes because while they were dating, he was on tour in Europe and they had only ever talked in person one time, and that was after a show that he performed at in Dallas in June of 2023. She describes this interaction being weird because she was allowed behind the gates by a staff member, but David acted as if he didn't even know who she was. She said that the two talked and texted almost 24/7, and when she was in front of him face to face at this specific show, he asked her what her name was. She said even her father, who had brought her to this concert, was extremely confused.
Why are you bringing your daughter to a concert to go meet a man? What is wrong with these parents that's constantly selling their children to these celebrities? The same thing happened with R. Kelly. You guys think R. Kelly went out there and kidnapped people off the streets? Every single one of his victims was literally delivered to him by adults. Family members. I'm not bringing my daughter to meet no dude. She's too young to be dating people. I'm not bringing her to meet nobody at 13, 14, 15. The only date you going on is your prom. That's it. Point blank, period. Daddy took her to the concert to meet D4VD? What's going on here? Why are these people so quick to grow up? Why are these children so quick to grow up? And why are these parents serving their children to these people? It's crazy. It's the money. I guarantee you it's the money. Listen, I don't know these people. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about in general. It's the money. Well, at least this guy's rich. Like, are you serious? I can't believe Daddy brought her. I'm so surprised and so disappointed at the same time. Craziness. Let's keep going.
Driven 2 or 3 hours to go see him at this concert, and he completely disregarded her.
All right, honey, let's go take a 3-hour drive so you can meet your boyfriend. What? Huh? Oof. Let's keep going.
No, it makes me wonder if he didn't acknowledge that he knew her publicly because he knew that she was a minor, or if he didn't acknowledge her publicly because he was talking to different girls around this time and he genuinely didn't remember that he's talking to this girl too. She goes on to say that the second strange interaction with David was at LAX in January of 2024, which is when we know he was communicating with Celeste. She says that it was extremely coincidental. She saw him at the airport. She sent him a text asking if he was at LAX, to which he responded yes. She then texted him and asked if she could come up and say hi to him, and he completely ignored her. She said she ended up confronting him about this at a later date over the phone, to which he apologized and said that he was listening to a band's new album and he had gotten distracted. She also recalls 2 other strange incidents with David that happened over the phone. She said that in October of 2023 she reached out to David on Snapchat because she was in a depressive.
Somebody sent me the picture with Nero, where they laying down and he got that crazy t-shirt on. I don't have time to go look for it. Please, I would love you immensely if somebody sends me the picture with Nero.
State over the fact that her friend had passed away.
Or not Nero, Neo. Neo. Send me the picture with Neo.
And David responded back, I'm a realist, so this might not align with your opinions, but basically told her that she should just be comfortable with her depression because other people have it worse than her, and she shouldn't be grieving her friend who had passed away a few months prior.
You hear that? The girl is going through a depressive episode. And he says, B, get over it. With a big B, a capital B. He said, B, get over it. There's other people. He hit her with there's kids in Africa that don't have no food. Get over it. You got first world problems, baby. That's basically what he said. Her friend gone. I think she lost somebody else. All kinds of stuff is happening with this girl. And she's going through her depression, and he just is like, nah, I ain't trying to hear it. Get over it. I'm going to run that back real quick.
Just be comfortable with her depression. Her friend had passed away. Strange incidents with David that happened over the phone. She said that in October of 2023 she reached out to David on Snapchat because she was in a depressive state over the fact that her friend had passed away, and David responded back, I'm a realist, so this might not align with your opinions, but basically told her that she should just be comfortable with her depression because other people have it worse than her, and she shouldn't be grieving her friend who had passed away a few months prior anymore. It's a recurring pattern here where David seems to be
Flojo on point, man. Appreciate you, man. He just sent me that picture with Neo. I think the reason why this guy was really weird with girls, it seems like he's very weird with girls. Very uncomfortable. Likes to be in control. Messes with young girls who aren't sure of themselves, where he could just take control of the wheel and just basically steer them whatever direction he wants to steer them in. I think there's a reason for that. I think this is the reason. Now, this is a very tolerant channel, so we're not making fun of anybody, but I'm just letting you know. That there's a reason for this man's actions. I'm not saying it. This is what he's making a statement right now. He's making a statement right now. He's making a statement, not me. I don't judge him for his statement. I don't judge him for his choices. I don't judge him for his lifestyle. But this is important because Celeste is gone. He's dead. And we're trying to figure out why. This guy had issues within himself. I don't think he knows who he was. And I think that confusion made him a very dangerous person. He had a lot going on in his brain, a lot of dark places he was just starting to explore. His own words, he said inside of the group chat, he said, I like gore more than I like corn. You know what corn is. It ain't the kind that you eat, time you watch. This is why D4VD could not mess with a woman his age. Because most women his age would not tolerate him, thinking he could have his cake and eat it too. Just food for thought, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. Back to Matt Thibodeau.
Detached and unbothered by death in general. And given his obsession with gore and people passing away, and the fact that he doesn't seem to care when people do. I mean, he doesn't care that this girl is grieving the loss of a close friend who died tragically and suddenly. He didn't seem to care when he was told that a body was found in his Tesla. He continued performing for days. Just an observation, you guys take that how you will. Now, the second strange incident that she recalled.
Before she talked about the second strange incident, we have 433 people watching the stream right now. So nice, healthy stream. A lot of people watching. Very humbled. I appreciate you. But we don't have a lot of likes. Please hit the like button. Support the channel so that we could get into the algorithm and the show could be shown to a wider audience. That's all we're asking for. That's it. It's free. Hit the thumbs up. Let's keep going.
Over the phone is when she asked David about a girl that he was talking to on Discord, a girl that also happened to be in his Discord server, and he responds to her that this is a 15-year-old girl that people prey upon, and he was trying to protect her and make sure she was all right. Here's a screenshot that she shared of her asking David about this girl and him responding back who she is. Here's some other messages between her.
Hold on. Let's go back and we could read that. I've never seen that message before. Who's Kristen? EB saying they know you so well. This is entertaining. ASL. By the way, you want a Spotify? Damn, let me know. Then he says, girl who been in the server since it dropped. He says she's 15 and gets preyed upon. Hella. I'm trying to protect her from TS. But these N-words are sick. He says, oh. I don't even understand the dynamics of these places. Like, how do you have a server that has minors and adults in it? We know that adults are in this stuff and they're watching his Twitch and they're in his Discord because on my members only, or Patreon, I forgot which one it was. I think it was the Patreon. It was the Patreon, not the members. I showcased a person who was on these streams who was defending him, an adult who was like in their 30s, who's defending him, pretty much in my opinion. And he's saying that this 15-year-old is being preyed upon. How is she being preyed upon? And you know about it. Like, what action are you taking? Are you blocking these people? Are you reporting them? Like, what does that mean? I don't even know if he even knows what it means. He might be the one who's preying upon her allegedly, and he's just telling that to this girl in order to finesse her into thinking, oh, I got this. I'm interacting with her simply because I'm protecting her. When in fact, he might have his own nefarious reasons for interacting. Because she's confronting him like, this girl is acting like she know you like that. What's up? Who is this girl? And he's like, oh, no, it's nobody. It's just a young girl in the chat that I'm trying to protect from these dudes who are predators and they preying on her. It's like, that sounds like he's making up an excuse as to why he's the one who's preying upon, making an excuse as to why he has contact with this girl, and maybe he has contact with her not for the very reasons that he's giving his quote-unquote girlfriend. This is weird stuff going on. This internet thing is a dark place. It really is a very dark place. Pray for the children, man, because this is the world they're growing up in. This is their reality. I'm 41. I remember when there was no internet. I remember when the internet first dropped mainstream and only libraries had internet. There was no such thing as home internet. And you'd go inside the library and all you have is Netscape Navigator, and that's how you got on the internet. And then I remember when AOL dropped, and then that's when the internet became mainstream, when AOL dropped, and you never had to pay for AOL. All you had to do was keep signing up for another 30 days, and they'll send you a new disc with a new code. So every month you get a new disc with a new code, and you go on for free. And we had the instant messenger and all that stuff. Like, some of us grew up knowing a time when we had rotary phones and not digital phones. Knowing a time when we had black and white televisions, and that was high class. You had a television and it was black and white, and the only thing you could see is the honeymooners. And you had to put hangers on top of your antennas if you want to get channel 7 news. We remember that. You guys remember that? Why am I bringing that up? I'm not trying to get all nostalgic for all the young people watching. Like, oh, you're a freaking dinosaur, strategic. The reason why is we know how to turn this stuff off. These young folks don't know how to turn this off because this is all they know. They came out the JJ with an iPad in their hand. They had Wi-Fi built into their brains the moment they was conceived. These kids are cyborgs, man. This is all they know. And pray for the children because this is a deep, dark crevice that we are birthing our children into. This is ugly. When we send them to their beds, they're on their iPads, cell phones, computers, doing things we have no control over. And if you try and control it, they'll just find a way to do it. The kid who has no cell phone at 13, you know what they doing? They going to school. They're like, yo, best friend, let me borrow your phone. And they doing the same thing they would have did with the phone that you would have given them one if you gave it to them. They doing that on their friend's phone. There's no protecting these kids from them. The only way we gotta either A or it's a combination. We're gonna have to do some type of legislation because right now we're in a wild, wild west. We need to do some type of legislation and we need to prepare them as parents the best way we can. Just like you say, wait till the light turns red before you cross the street. It says don't walk, don't walk. When it's green, you go. When it's red, you stop. Don't talk to strangers. Just like how you prepare them that way, we're going to have to now upgrade for the digital era and start saying, don't go into Discord unless don't answer an instant message unless it's from your family. Like, I don't know what the solution is. I'm scared. I am scared. Let's keep going.
Who she is. Here's some other messages between her and David that she says were harmless in the moment and that she didn't think anything of back then. But looking back at them now with everything that's come out, she does acknowledge that they are kind of eerie.
Let me see here. Let's go back. I want to read these chats because I haven't seen these chats before. All right, hold on here.
Girl and him responding back who she is. Here's some other messages.
All right, no, don't kiss. That's my job. No, don't kiss. We haven't kissed yet. All right, let's keep going.
Messages between her and David that she says were harmless in the moment and that she didn't think anything of back then. But looking back at them now with everything that's come out, she does.
All right, let me just read it. She said, the response is, I asked when the stream was ending because I was slowly KMS. I don't know what KMS is. Who's the young people in the chat? Tell me what KMS is. I don't know what that is. Then somebody responds, I think it might be David, says, real. You as a chat member is the S word, not gonna lie. Then the person says, laugh my ass off. Then he responds to how the F is a Tommy there. Oh, okay. So KMS is unalive herself. Okay. All right. These people just be throwing those terms around like it's no tomorrow. Like these kids think that's funny and cool to keep saying that. But anyway. Then she asks how the F is a Tommy there. Then he responds, imagine getting hacked by my alter ego. Wow. Then she said, I don't know how I have that character. I would definitely win a Tommy fight off. He said, no, you would not. She says, proof. Then he says, you're not winning against me. You definitely not winning against a Tommy. Remember, a Tommy is his alter ego, his genocidal, suicidal. I said the words, damn. Don't hurt me, YouTube. Murderous alter ego. That's what a Tommy is. Let's keep going.
Acknowledge that they are kind of eerie. This one in particular, when he says that a Tommy has.
All right, so says you not winning against me, you definitely not winning against a Tommy. Then she said, I would karate chop that B. How would I not win against you? Let's be real. Then he has this meme, and then he says, you after me, and a Tommy cut both of your arms off. God, how old is this guy when he's talking like this? How old is this guy? Let's keep going.
The alter ego could cut both of her arms off. I mean, how weird is that? And then, as I was saying at the beginning,
and then there's some people saying Celeste's arms is chopped off. Some people saying not. If it's true that she's dismembered, It appears she's dismembered the exact same way that Itami dismembers the Celeste lookalike girlfriend in the anime video that he made that we reviewed. We went over that anime video. The exact same way that the Celeste lookalike in the anime video was killed by Itami is the exact same way it appears that Celeste was, or rather her body was handled. If the allegations of the dismemberment is true. This is crazy. It's insane. I'm going to check the email. Gotcha.
Of this video where David seems to do things that are well thought out with intention, despite what many people may realize. This is another example of it. He had this song right here that is unreleased called Ropes. And
all right, hold on here. Before we get into this Ropes thing, wow. This is some stuff. This some pictures and stuff that was sent to me, and Aki and Flojo. And I definitely want to God, wow. These dudes are interesting characters. These guys are sweeter than iced tea, man. They sweeter than iced tea, baby. All right. Cool. I just want to, we'll save them for the end. We'll let Matt Thibodeau finish, and then we'll go over these crazy photos that was just sent to me.
And these are some of the lyrics that he posted on his story. And if you look at the first letter at the start of each line, it spells out this particular girl who we're talking about right now's name, Kira. So when we think of all the things that currently don't make sense about this
in my heart tethered to another, etching my blood along this rope, and everything I do, I will not let it break. Right alongside me, she opens a wound and pours her blood out on it as well. This is weird stuff, bro. This is ritualistic stuff. You guys hear this stuff? This is ritualistic stuff. He opening a wound and pouring her blood into his wound and stuff like that. Like, we got almost 500 people watching this. Does this sound ritual? I want to do a poll real quick. I want to do a poll. I'm sorry. Does David's lyrics sound ritualistic? I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you guys think in the chat. It sounds ritualistic to me. It does. Knowing this rope is paper thin, effervescently tugging, pulling, longing, inch by inch, I am held closer. Rightly so, I feel heavy, very heavy, all of me being held by this rope. Nodding along at the end, my heart again, eager to conjoin with hers, but I must remember I am being held. Remember, I am being pulled upward rather, able to drop at any second. Kara. You know how much effort it takes? It's like he's doing a spell on Kara. Bananas. Let's keep going.
Particular girl who we're talking about right now's name, Kira. So when we think of all the things that currently don't make sense about this case, why was Celeste put in a Tesla? Why was she put in David's Tesla? Why was she left down the street from the home that he was renting, walking distance? I do believe that he possibly did think all of this out before he did it all, and I do think that we are going to see that when he starts presenting his defense, if and when he is arrested.
Bananas. All right, big shout out to Matt Thibodeau. We definitely appreciate his insight. I want to go ahead, bring this over here so we can just read the things that were sent to me. It's not in any particular order. I'm just giving it to you guys as I got it, right? All right. This is a screenshot from the Reddit. It says his yellow Coachella shirt, which features the autopsy photo of the Black Dahlia, as well as a photo of a young Brooke Shields from her role in the movie Pretty Baby about child prostitution, and his gray Hellpraiser shirt, which features 2 Bratz dolls and is an exact replica of the movie poster for the movie 13, starring Evan Rachel Wood's teen sex, drugs, and crime. Are you kidding me? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So it's all about murder and underage inappropriate liaisons and drugs. And this person says he's so gross and sleazy, Celeste might have either OD'd or he killed her while under the influence at Coachella. Look at him. Look at him with his black nail polish. He look evil. He looks evil to me. He doesn't even look feminine. He just looks evil. He don't look feminine. He doesn't look emo. He just looks evil. This one, he looks high. On this one, he just looks evil. And this shirt has a picture of the Black Dahlia, which is a woman who was murdered. It's a movie. It's crazy, man. Let's keep going. This is a better picture. I don't know who that lady is, but crazy. Keep going. Apple user. I knew someone who dated him and was a minor. I don't know who this is. Is this the minor? Whoever sent this to me. Who sent this to me? Who is that? Who is that? That's an intimate picture. Who is that he's with? Is this did Flojo send me this? I just copy and pasted all of them from. Yeah, I think Flojo's do. Is this a minor, Flojo? Crazy. He's in a hotel room. This is a hotel room. Let's be detectives. Let's look in the back. What is this? I don't know. Could that be alcohol? I don't know. I'm not sure. It looks like 2 bottles of water. This looks like it could possibly be a pill bottle. I'm not sure. I'm asking questions. I don't know if that's a pill bottle. Here's another bottle of water on the floor. A lot of water they drink and they got to hydrate. Look at what she's wearing. She's showing the belly. He's got his hands clearly around her waist. This is an inappropriate photo. I'm assuming that she's not of age. That's Kara. Oh, Lord of mercy. Is that the minor girl who he said, get over it? That's his ex. She's a minor. Look, this is David and Kara. We got you. This is David and Kara. And Kara's dad drove her. Great job, Dad. You almost got your daughter killed, bro. Kara's dad drove her to the concert. Yeah. Daddy drove her to the concert. And he was surprised when David acted like he didn't know his daughter. Like, honey, you mean you're not with him? I thought you was with him. I thought we were going to get rich off of me selling you to him. I'm so disappointed. I drove you for 3 hours for no reason. I thought we were going to work out a deal. Could have got your daughter killed, buddy. Somebody said it's not Kara. I don't know who it is. I don't know who this is. I'm asking questions. I don't know. I don't know if it's Kara. I don't know if it's not. I'm asking questions. I do know she looks kind of young. So Obsidian, who's my mod, I'm going to believe my mod. She says Kara said herself that that's her. And she's in there. My mod is in. Who they cracking jokes with? What's her name? Who cracks jokes on the Reddit? I think she called it the Reddit Investigative Agency or something like that. What's her name? Tisa with the T. She be calling the Reddit people like the CIA or the FBI or something. I forgot the name she got for the Reddit people, but I got people in there. Come on. The RBI. Come on. You better stop it. I'm going to believe my mod. My mod said that's her. That's her. And if we got to retract it, I retract it. But I'm going to rock with my mod. Let's keep going. I knew someone who dated him was a minor at the time. A minor. Oh, Lord of mercy. Look at this guy. This is boyfriend? I don't know. Neo? And Neil, he got the blindfold on. I said the RIA, the RBI, I don't know. He got the blindfold on. You don't like to see it coming. Look at this guy. That picture was very salacious. David's hand was underneath his booty. He had a shirt on saying, if it's gay, I'm in there. Listen, I may be old school, but no straight guy would ever, that I know of, and maybe I'm just old school and out of touch, and I acknowledge that. I embrace that. I am a dinosaur now. I used to be the youngest guy in the room at some point. Now I'm kind of like up there, one of the oldest. I don't know no dude. I don't know no 18-year-old, no 16-year-old, no 20-year-old, no 30-year-old who's going to wear a shirt that says, if it's gay, I'm in. Now, I'll wear that shirt if you pay me $1 billion. $1 billion, all right? I will wear that shirt 500 feet outside of the house, and then I'm running back in the house. But I don't know a dude who's going to take those kind of pictures, lay down on the floor in a very suggestive position with one of his hands underneath another man's butt cheeks. It looked like that way to me. And another hand gently touching the other guy's hand like this on the ground. Unless you are very close friends. Special friends. Let's keep going. Is Nero his Neo? I keep calling him Nero. Look up Nero. Look that up, though. I keep calling him Nero. Look up Nero. Is Nero his friend? Or is it his friend? I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going. This is David and Nero. Look at, he got the contacts in his eyes. He got the pouty lips. That's the what they call that? The Riz lips. He risen. And look, Nero risen too. AKA Neo. I keep calling him Nero. We gonna run with it. His name Nero. Somebody look up Nero, see what I'm talking about. Nero, aka Neo. Oh man. They both got the potty mouths, the pouty mouths. Are they friends or are they a little bit more? I don't know. And he's got Hello Kitty on. He's got the Hello Kitty on. And he's got his typical, what do you call it? his weather-rated bonnet. That's not even like a do-rag. It's a weather-rated bonnet. And this guy got his bangs. Let me stop. I'm going to get in trouble. Here we go. This person says in 2023, February 20th, 2023, this guy says, David likes the kids. David likes the kids. And David responds, I'm so serious, bro. Girls my age are retarded. Like I'm young. Dude says, D4VD likes kids. His response was, I'm so serious, bro. Girls my age are retarded. At this time, he'd have been 18, 19 or something like that. And you don't like girls his age. He said it. That's it. All I got for you guys on that one. Let me see what else I got here. We already covered this one. We're not going to cover it again. This one is Kadisha Lynn talking about the car not moving. Covered that already, so it's no need for us to repeat that. Let's go to the poll, see what we got. 94% says that his music sounds ritualistic. I don't think I've done a poll. I don't think I've done a poll that's that lopsided before. I've done polls on like PD files that's like guilty as sin, and then we still had double-digit people talking about like, nah, they might be innocent. I've never done a poll that lopsided. 94% of the people who took that poll, we're in a poll right now. The official number is going to be 94 and 6%, same thing. Never done a poll before where it was that lopsided. Why? It's obvious. It's obvious. You don't got to believe in ghosts. You don't have to believe in esoteric stuff. You don't have to be a spiritual person. Maybe what he's doing is not working. Maybe he's like doing his spells to the ether. It's just not, it doesn't exist. He's just weirdo. But it's clear that this man is not just singing. He's doing ritualistic things. He's preying on these young girls. He's surrounding himself with these people. And I don't want to say it, but I want to say it, man. So far, depending on what you want to believe, because it could be that she's not dismembered and stuff like that, but a lot of this seems very ritualistic, like she was sacrificed, bro. People are going to get mad at me. People are going to say, nah, strategic, that's not cool. You know, I'm not in no way trying to diminish anything. I want justice for Celeste. I want justice for Celeste. I'm not the best Christian on the planet. I'm not a Bible thumper. No disrespect on people who are like that, but I am spiritual. I do believe in God. I practice my Christianity in my own way. And if you're going to believe in God, you got to believe in evil. You believe in good, you got to believe in evil, because God made it all. Just like how we can make good choices, we can make bad choices. If you believe that there's a spiritual realm, that you have to believe that there's something that's negative, that counters the positive. God has dominion over the good and the bad if you're a spiritual person, but you understand that this is part of the balance of the universe and the world that he created. So if you don't believe in nothing, then this ain't a conversation for you. You are not doing nothing wrong. But if you believe in God, if you are here and you're saying you're a Christian, but you're telling me I'm bullshitting by saying this seems ritualistic, this seems demonic, then what do you believe in? Because you're saying that you believe in God, you go to church and your pastor tell you, and your reverend and your priest, your Catholic, your this, your that, they telling you that there's a devil, but you don't want to believe the devil real. You believe in Jesus, you believe in God, you give your heart and your soul to Christ, but you don't want to believe. And they tell you that Christ went on that walk. And when he was on that walk, the devil was trying to tempt him. They told you that story, but you don't really believe it because you don't think that same devil might exist right now. You don't believe it. Explain to me how that makes sense. It's either you believe or you don't. If you believe, you have to understand that there are forces out here that are not positive. These are negative forces. And some people think that they could tap into those things for their own gain. It's just the way it is. I don't know what happened in this case. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out like you guys. It just, I just put things together, okay? I put things together. Young man from the Caribbean. I'm Caribbean. I know in the Caribbean, there are a lot of people that believe in ritualistic things. I'm going to butcher it because I'm not really, but they got the Santa Maria stuff down there and all that stuff. And Haiti has the voodoo and all that. This is real stuff that people believe in. Whether they're real or not, people still believe in them. We listen to this kid. He sings songs. He grew up in a church. That doesn't mean anything, but it's part of the puzzle. You could grow up in a church and be a mass murderer for all we know. I don't know. Look at what the Catholic priest was doing to all those kids for all these years. I'm not saying that that's supposed to preclude him from being a bad person. I'm just putting the pieces together. Young man grows up in a church, grows up sheltered, removed from school allegedly because he's being bullied. Might be mentally ill. I don't know. That's why all this stuff might be in his head. It may not be real, but he makes music that almost enchants children. We played this on the Patreon because we can't play that here for the YouTube members or for the main show because I'll get copyright striked. It's on the Patreon. I slowed it down and showed. I actually showed a clip to the members. So if you're a member, you can see a clip of that Patreon show. That got copyright striked on the membership, even though it's not for everybody else. YouTube doesn't care. If it's on their platform, they will copyright strike it if you play copyrighted music or material, period, full stop. I slowed it down, showed him at his concert, showing these kids like this, looking like zombies, looking like they possessed, singing their heart out, singing, I killed you, and I didn't even care, and I don't regret it, and all this extra stuff. I don't know all the words. I know he said, I killed you. He's making this music that got these kids in a trance, eyes rolling up in their head. I'm pointing them out. We're going through the line because the camera's doing a pan, and I'm like, look at this. Got children singing about murder. Then he's preying upon young girls, prepubescent girls, allegedly. And what did they do throughout time? Did they sacrifice the 40-year-old mom who already had 5 kids? No, they didn't do that. Did they sacrifice the father? Did they sacrifice the brother? No, they sacrificed young girls. Virgin, sometimes prepubescent girls. That's who they sacrificed for thousands of years until we became modern men and we say, yo, we can't do stuff like that. That's crazy. He's preying on those girls. He's got kids coming to a concert, kissing caskets, preying on caskets, writing into death books. He got kids buying, he can't even keep them. He can't even make enough of them. He got kids buying bloody shirts, coming to concerts with bloody button-up white shirts. The shirts that Tommy wore when he slayed his girlfriend. You go see the new Scream movie. How many people you gonna see coming into a Scream movie looking bloody, looking like they just murdered somebody? Nobody. People just gonna go see the movie. It's entertaining. And then they're going to go home. Why is it these kids are going to this concert looking like axe murderers? But you go see Scream, you go see all these other scary movies, these Blumhouse movies, all those Blumhouse movies with demons and monsters and all that stuff. You don't see people coming to those movie theaters looking like that. They're coming to his concert looking like axe murderers, kissing caskets, praying to empty caskets, signing death books. Going into a concert hall that's all red. Not blue, not green, red like blood. On stages with wilting roses covered in drops of blood. That's a D4VD concert. And y'all tell me I'm crazy when I say this sound like a sacrifice. And then we come to the body. Young girl dead. And some sources, there's 1,000 sources out there. Pick what source you want to believe. That's 1,000 sources. You tell me what source you want to believe. Sources say that she was decapitated. Some sources say she wasn't decapitated. Some sources say her arms was chopped off. Some sources say her arms wasn't chopped off. Yeah, make it make sense. What did his screen name say before he changed it? Bring me their souls or something? Lead me to their souls? Serve me them their souls? Huh? Deep, man. Deep stuff. Just saying. There's stuff in this world that we don't understand. That's all I'm saying. Guys, been great. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. I got to get to bed. I got work in the morning time. See you guys on the next one. You guys have a great day. Strategic is out of here. Peace.